Hey everybody, so this is going to be part 2 of my top 100 albums in my collection. I did numbers 100 through 91 yesterday. Check that episode out if you haven't already. So let's get right into our 90 through 81. At number 90, I'm going to pick Fleetwood Mac Tusk. This has kind of been a maligned Fleetwood Mac album. It's a double album. It's very sprawling. It was released, I believe, in 79 or 1980. Forget exactly what year it was released, but it was a follow-up to Rumors, and there are some elements that sounds like a continuation of Rumors, but there's a lot of experimental stuff on here. Lindsey Buckingham was taking a lot of influences from the new wave music that he was hearing and wanted Fleetwood Mac to go in an edgier direction, I guess you could say. And so there's a lot of stuff on here that's very bizarre. What Makes You Think You're the One is kind of a weird stomping rocker. That's All for Everyone is a big Beach Boys pastiche. Sisters of the Moon is a great song. There are some fantastic songs on here. And once you get over the quirkiness, once you make peace with the fact this is not Rumors Part 2, I think it's a very enjoyable album. Sarah, it is a great Stevie Nicks song, but you've got everybody is contributing on this record, and there's really not any terrible moments on here. The title track, Tusk, is definitely interesting. I think it was with the USC marching band featured on that track. Christine McVie steps up to the plate. She's got some fantastic songs on here. You got the weird Lindsey Buckingham contributions, but overall, this album has grown on me after a few listens, and now I really do enjoy it. It's not my favorite Fleetwood Mac, but certainly up there. I love it a lot, and that is going to be my number 90. Number 89, the Banana album. This, of course, is the Velvet Underground and Nico and Andy Warhol to an extent. He did the album cover. I think he was responsible for getting the Velvet Underground record contract, and I think he was also trying to help Nico become established as a superstar. But this album has influenced so many of my favorite artists, and it's got some garage rock elements, definitely some experimental elements on here. I love tracks on here like Heroin, which are very weird. It's almost like a Sonic trying to recreate what a heroin addict is experiencing through the highs and lows. I'm Waiting for the Man is a great track. Sunday Morning, great Sunday morning track. I love it. It leads off the album. I'll Be Your Mirror is a nice track with Nico. Her voice takes some getting used to, but I think this is a solid album. And one of the Velvet Underground's best. Number 88, Crowded House, their debut. Don't Dream It's Over is a track that most people would know from this album, but Something So Strong also got played on the radio back in the day. Of course, this is Neil Finn, who was from Crowded House. He formed a power pop trio after he left Split Enz, and this is one of my favorite power pop albums. Now We're Getting Somewhere is great. Love You Till the Day I Die is just kind of a raw, melodic, haunting kind of a rocker. Hole in the River talks about Neil Finn's aunt who committed suicide. A very kind of eerie, moody track there. That's What I Call Love is another fantastic, just all-out balls to the walls rocker. Great way to close out the album. But Crowded House, just a fantastic band. They're still together now. Unfortunately, Paul Hester, their drummer, committed suicide, I don't know, about 10 years ago. And so they're pretty much just down to the two of these guys. I forget what his name was, but I loved this album back in the day. And still, it sounds fresh. It sounds just everything that I love about power pop and just Australian. Well, this actually... I think it's New Zealand. Are they from New Zealand? I don't know. Anyway, I don't know the whole background of that, but I love the album nonetheless. Number 87, if I'm counting correctly, is going to be Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark and their album Crush. This has got So in Love and Secret, I think the two big singles that were off of here. Again, OMD expanding their sound, getting a little bit away from the synth pop electronic music that they were known for. They've got some organic drumming on here. 88 Seconds in Greensboro is almost heavy metal. I mean, I hate to say it, it sounds very weird that OMD would delve into that style of music, because it's not what they're known for, but that is a pretty heavy rocker. And then you've got the swell of strings that follows, it segues right into the Native Daughters of the Golden West. And you've got the strings, almost sounds ELO a little bit at the beginning of that song. Very cool. Hold You, a great OMD ballad. The Lights Are Going Out. Just a quirky, moody way to end the album. Love the artwork on this. One of my favorite alternative albums. Number 86, speaking of ELO, got a little El Dorado here, kind of a concept album, somebody who's kind of walking through a day in a dream state. You can follow along with the lyrics, but some of ELO's best stuff is on here. I love the overture. This is kind of the first fully realized orchestral sound that they had. I mean, they had some cellists and oboes and stuff like that, but they never had like a full orchestra sound like they do on here. Can't Get It Out of My Head was the Earworm. That was a big hit in the early 70s, but Boy Blue, another great Jeff Lynne rocker. Side 2 is really, for me, my favorite. I love Mr. Kingdom, right into Nobody's Child. You got the title track, El Dorado, which it almost sounds like the vocal was recorded backwards. It's got this really surreal kind of an atmosphere about it. And then the El Dorado finale. And number 85, I think this is, going with The Cure, The Head on the Door. First Cure album I really got into. This is sort of part of their power pop new wave phase that they were going through. In Between Days was a big single off of here. Close to Me, I love with the whole xylophone, a great dance new wave track. But some of the deeper tracks on here, like The Baby Screams is great. I love A Night Like This, kind of as close to a ballad as they got on here. I love Screw, Sinking. The Blood with kind of that Spanish guitar rhythm is captivating. Just a great, great album. If you want to get into The Cure, this might be a great place to start. Dip your toe in the water a little bit, but fantastic album. 84, speaking of new wave, also released in 1985. Depeche Mode, Black Celebration. I was trying to remember, was it 85 or 86? But I'm pretty sure this was 85. Forgive me if I don't have all the dates nailed down, but some people would consider this their favorite Depeche Mode album. People will say this is ranked too low. I love this album. I really do. But this is where it falls in my ranking. Black Celebration, the title track is great. A Question of Lust was a big single off of here. Kind of a song with, I don't know, you'd get away with the lyrics today, but A Question of Time, about kind of a pedophilia type relationship. Stripped is great. Here Is the House, World Full of Nothing, just a moody synth rocker. But this really kind of established Depeche Mode as more than just a synth pop band. And every song on here is amazing. I only wish on the UK version that they had included But Not Tonight. I always thought on my original CD that was kind of a appropriate way to end the album. At the end of New Dress, it's just kind of that guitar strum, and you're like, that's it? And I keep waiting for But Not Tonight to kick in, but it doesn't, because this conforms to the UK track listing, but that's okay too. Number, what are we on? 83, Wilco, Yankee Hotel Foxtrot. This came out in 2002. My first experience with Wilco, and there was a lot of wrangling with a record company who dropped them while they were recording this album because they didn't feel it was commercial enough, which is ridiculous because I think this is the most commercial sounding album that Wilco had come out with. This is their fourth album. I'm Trying to Break Your Heart is just a great rocker that kind of builds. It starts out very soft, like something the Beach Boys would have done in the mid-60s maybe. Camera is such a radio-friendly hit. You got to tell me that's not commercial. Radio Cure is great. War on War. So many catchy Wilco tracks on here. And I think this is as close to kind of a straightforward pop album as Wilco would ever released. I love Heavy Metal Drummer. Playing Kiss covers, Beautiful and Stone, my favorite line. I'm the Man Who Loves You, kind of almost like a little twangy country rock song there. Pot Kettle Black, Poor Places, and the beautiful Reservations. Love this record, my favorite Wilco record. Check it out. And then I'm going to take some heat from this one, I know, but if you don't believe me, check out Chris Profi's channel. 82 is going to be the Monkees. The Monkees present, and this is kind of the overlooked Monkees album. You don't have Peter Tork on here, but you still got Michael Nesmith, so you got a lot of Michael on here. And it's a weird album because you've got songs that were recorded back in the early part of the Monkees' career. Like I think Ladies Aid Society was recorded for More of the Monkees back in 1967. Looking for the Good Times, I know, was a More of the Monkees outtakes from 1967. But then you've got some Mickey Dolenz contributions that were recorded back here in 1969. The very topical Mommy and Daddy. But I love Little Girl. I think it's Shorty Rogers who does the jazzy guitar work on that, and also on Pillow Time, which actually was a composition by Mickey Dolenz' mother, interestingly enough. Even the Davy Jones tracks on here, I don't mind. French Song, I think is cool. If I Knew, of course, you had the Ladies Aid Society that he does the vocals on. And yeah, Michael Nesmith comes in strong with Never Tell a Woman Yes, which I used to hate, but now has grown on me. Good Clean Fun, one of my favorite Mike Nesmith tracks. So check it out if you haven't. If Peter Tork had been in the band, I'm to understand that this might have been a double album, sort of like the White Album. And it's very eclectic, more eclectic than most other Monkees albums. So there you have it. And number 81, Nashville Skyline by Bob Dylan, the smiling, affable Bob Dylan. It's a brief album, but it is his, where he's got the crooning voice for the duration of the album, which I happen to like. Lay Lady Lay. My dad had this album growing up, and I always thought this was what Bob Dylan sounded like, and then I started listening to more of his music. I'm like, oh, sounds like an entirely different singer, but it's Bob. Lay Lady Lay, great track. Of course, there's a Johnny Cash collaboration, Girl from the North Country. I even love some of the instrumentals like Nashville Skyline, Rag on here. And there's just some charming, charming country rock on here. Country Pie is great. I Threw It All Away has been covered. And To Be Alone With You. Solid, solid. This is the kind of country I like. I like this, and there might be a couple other country rock albums in my list, but that is going to be my next 10. So again, let me know in the comment section what you think, how you think the list is going so far. Again, these are my picks. I'm not saying these are definitively the best 100 albums in the world, but just in my collection. And if there's an album here that you know I talk up, maybe I only have it on CD. I'm just doing the records that I have on vinyl. So keep that in mind as you're watching these videos. Hope you're doing great. Take care.